Ya Allah, give me strength to set us free as we struggle on your path, Mujahideen. Grant us, Ya Allah, the eyes to see your light, and show us, Ya Allah, what is wrong and what is right as we walk along your path, Sirat al-Mustaqim, Sirat al-Mustaqim. Give me, Ya Allah, give me Iman and victory. Give me, Ya Allah, give me strength to set us free as we struggle on your path, Mujahideen. Help us, Ya Allah, spread this blessed deen, and help us, Ya Allah, help the Muslimin, and help us, Ya Allah, overcome the mushrikeen. Give me, Ya Allah, give me Iman and victory. Give me, Ya Allah, give me strength to set us free as we struggle on your path, Mujahideen. Make us, Ya Allah, fighters for your deen, and make us, Ya Allah, forever mu'mineen. And do this, Ya Allah, despite the kafirin. Give me, Ya Allah, give me Iman and victory. Give me, Ya Allah, give me strength to set us free as we struggle on your path, Mujahideen. Give me, Ya Allah, give me Iman and victory. Give me, Ya Allah, give me strength to set us free as we struggle on your path, Mujahideen.
Fasting today. Saum, it's known in Arabic, Rosa in Urdu, Persian, Indian, Pakistani, you name it. And fasting is in English. In essence, they all mean the same. Every Muslim over the age of 10 years must fast. Let's look on number 1 on the page. Number 1. Every Muslim over the age of 10 years must fast all the days of the month of Ramadan. Now, you may not fast if you're seriously sick. By seriously sick, we do not take into consideration the headache, cold, flu. It is not sickness, okay? The sickness is where you fast and you become even more sick than what you were before. In that case, that is what is called a serious sickness, or if you're traveling more than 75 miles away from home. Traveling more than 75 miles away from home. Nowadays, the traveling is so easy. You sit in your car, air conditioned, relax and enjoy. We're not talking about this kind of traveling. This kind of facility was given for the people who used to travel on camel long distance in the desert. They were thirsty and they were hungry. You know, for them, if they traveled away from home, yes, they could give up the fasting for that day, but they had to make up for it later. For us nowadays, it doesn't make any sense if you're going from here to Richmond or to DC, you know, that you go ahead and break your fast and then make it up later. So nowadays, if you travel more than 75 miles, say you don't have air conditioning in your vehicle or something, you know, sure you can give it up, but you have to be seriously sick or be traveling more than 75 miles away from home in order to avail that facility. Let's look on number 2 now. Rosa is the third pillar of Islam. The first one is Shahadat, then Namaz, then Rosa, and then Zakat, and then Hajj. So Rosa falls into the third place. This is the true act of faith. Because when you go in the bathroom and you're fasting and you take a drink, nobody's watching you, but you do not take a drink. The reason, Allah is watching you. When you say your namaz, people can look at you and say, wow, he's praying and he's saying his namaz, or she's doing her salat, right? When you give the money in the way of Allah, you know it, and the person that got the money knows it, where it came from, who is donating, and you know it that you're donating, right? When you go for Hajj, you got millions of people watching you. Miss Raywan came from Hajj. or so and so came for Hajj, and people are seeing you. But fasting is one thing that nobody knows and nobody sees but yourself. Even your parents do not know. If you start fasting in the morning with them and eat and drink all day long outside, they don't know. But you don't. This is called the true act of faith. And this is where Allah knows that you are fasting for Allah only. The same goes for the reward of these things. The turnaround reward from Allah also is revealed about everything else but for the fasting. Allah says the fasting is for me and I am going to give the reward myself. So, by fasting, it all depends on what kind of intensity, what kind of faith you had when you were fasting, and what was the quality of your fast, so that He will reward you accordingly. Look on number 3. Fasting gets us most rewards of all the other pillars of Islam. The reason I just told you. It is the true act of faith for Allah only. Now in the month of Ramadan, every good deed, prayers, and reading of Quran is rewarded 70 times. So on normal days it is 10 times. During the month of Ramadan it is 70 times for each good deed and for each letter that you read from the Quran. Let's go to number 4. Going out and looking for the new moon for the first day of the Ramadan and the first day of Shawwal, which is Eid al-Fitr, is required of all the Muslims. Now you don't have an excuse. If it is cloudy, you should still go out and look for the moon. I know you're not going to see it, but you're fulfilling the way of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his sunnah. Okay? So that's what you're looking at. You should go out and look for the moon. Now, if you cannot see the moon, just come on inside and you can call the mosque or somebody. And what they do is they do the calling around and see if 2 people have seen, 2 adult people say that they have seen the moon, and they give the witness that yes, we have seen the moon. Then every Muslim must fast for the full month of Ramadan or go ahead and have Eid al-Fitr the next day. But you need to have 2 people who will witness to the fact that they have seen the moon. What's the meaning of the fasting? Let's look on number 5. Let's read it together. Rosa means, number 1, abstain from the food and drink from before dawn to sunset. B, not to use the bad language, do the backbiting or lying. C, not to listen to bad things. And D, not to use your body to hurt anyone in any way. So in other words, the fasting is not only abstaining from food and drink, because if you just abstain from food and drink or stay away from food and drink, and you keep doing all the other things that you do, or you hurt somebody with your writing, or you hurt somebody with your hand or your feet or your tongue even, then your fasting is not complete. So the fasting is in fact the purification of the whole body. It is not just the stomach cleanliness, okay? It's the whole body. Let me go to the page back again and show you the 3 requirements of each rosa. Okay, let's look on number 6 now. 3 requirements, or the necessary things that you have to have in order to make every rosa complete, or to actually say that yes, you have fasted. Number 1 is the niyat, or the intention to fast. If you did not have the intention to fast, you just got up and ate and went to bed saying, well, I'm fasting. You're not fasting. You've got to have that intention. Even before night, if you make the intention before you go to sleep and you could not get up next morning, your fasting is still complete. And if you did not eat that morning, but you need to eat that. Because if you look on number 2, the requirement is the sahri or sahur. Eating the breakfast is necessary for fasting. Because if you eat, your rest of the day is easy, you're open-minded, and you're not that tired. So the breakfast has been made necessary part of the fasting. So the first one is intention or the niyat. Second one is the sahri or eating the breakfast. And then in the evening, when it's time to eat again, then you just sit there, relax. I'm not hungry yet. You can't do that. You have to have iftar. You have to eat dinner. And you should not delay eating once it is time to do so. Even if you delay it by 5 or 10 minutes intentionally, like say if you're in the car and you're traveling, you can't get home and start iftar on time. Couple minutes here, couple minutes there don't make no difference. But if you do that intentionally, then you lost one of the necessary things for the fasting. Number 7, you must say the Tarawih prayer every night with the Isha prayers and read as much Quran as possible, maybe more than normal days. So in other words, the Tarawih at night, intention in the morning, and Sahri and Iftar, they are the requirements for each fast. Read number 8 now. You should use miswak or only a brush to clean your teeth during fasting hours. If you remember, we showed you a miswak, what it looks like. You don't use the toothpaste with the miswak. So during the fasting hours, either you can use the toothbrush with no paste on it, or you can use the miswak, which is the best thing to use anyway, to clean your teeth. The reason, you don't want to have any foreign taste in your mouth while you're fasting. After the iftar time, or before the breakfast in the morning, you can use as much toothpaste as you want. Okay? Number 9, there are 3 days when you should not fast. The first one is the last day of the month before Ramadan, which is Shaban, because that's the day of doubt. You don't know if the moon showed up, if you don't know if the moon did not show up. So abstain from fasting on that day. Even if you've been fasting the full month of Shaban before Ramadan, you need to give up that day in order to be in step with all the other Muslims of the world. Second day is the Eid al-Fitr, the day after Ramadan. You cannot fast on that day, and you cannot fast on the day of Eid al-Adha, because those are the 2 days when the shaitan or the Satan or the devil, he fasts on those days, because during the month of Ramadan, the Satan is all tied up in chains and thrown away in the dungeon so that he can stay away from the Muslims and make the fasting easy for them. And if you notice and you realize, during the month of Ramadan, there's more people that pray, there's more people that read the Quran, because there's no shaitan and no devil to keep them away from it. So it's a lot easier for Muslims to do all those good things during the month of Ramadan, and since he cannot do that during the month of Ramadan, he will fast on Eid al-Fitr. And that day, nobody's fasting is accepted at all. So his fasting is also in vain. So abstain from 2 days of Eid, which is Eid al-Fitr, Eid al-Adha, and the last day of Shaban. Now, let's look on the last one, number 10. Everyone must make up for fasting days lost due to permitted or non-permitted reason. Now, say for example you were traveling, or you had a serious sickness, or young ladies that must miss some of the days in Ramadan, they need to make up for those days after the month of Ramadan. You cannot just overlook those and give up, okay? So that is all on the page for fasting. وَمَا عَلَيْنَا إِلَّا الْبَلَاغُ. Assalamu alaikum.
Allah, give me iman and victory. Give me, Ya Allah, give me strength to set us free as we struggle on your path, Mujahideen. Help us, Ya Allah, spread this blessed deen, and help us, Ya Allah, help the Muslimin, and help us, Ya Allah, overcome the mushrikeen.